Hello and welcome to A Better Life. In today's video, we're going to talk about the person you see in the mirror, how to respect them, how to treat them, and exactly what they're capable of doing. It's a long list, but we're going to get through it quick. But first, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate it. Okay, the person in the mirror. This topic deals with a lot more than just appearance, but we're going to start there. We're going to start with looks. In some aspects of life, how a person's appearance strikes you simply does matter. Imagine a babysitter that you've never hired before shows up and looks like something from a Mad Max movie. You might have second thoughts. How about a blind date shows up and he looks like the serial killer you just saw on a crime show the night before? See, appearance does matter. Or you are in charge of hiring a candidate for a new position at your workplace, and the person you think is the ideal candidate based on the resume, well, they show up wrapped in a Scooby-Doo blanket sucking their thumb. No disrespect to Scooby-Doo, but I doubt they're getting the job. So now let me ask you this. How would you feel about yourself if we lived in a society where no one at all cared one bit about appearance? Everything else mattered, but appearance did not at all. How would you feel about that person in the mirror? That would be a really cool place to live, because you would have control over every factor that mattered since appearance didn't. So we're going to use that as the spinal column of this video. Throw out the things you can't control and evaluate yourself based on those things that you can. Now let's talk about that person in the mirror in another light. The person in the mirror should have a very positive outlook, even if they can't find a reason to have one, because they do have things to be thankful for, including a roof over their head, food to eat, things like that. But think about it this way as well. You go back throughout history when wars were fought. More recently, we'll talk about like World War I and World War II. There were 18-year-olds getting drafted to fight in a war they really didn't understand. They were sent in waves to attack machine guns, died immediately, and never really even got a chance to live their life. They would trade places in a heartbeat with people who have a lot to be thankful for, but just can't find the reasons why. Think also about the kids who have lived most of their life in a children's hospital fighting something that they really can't beat, and how unfair that is. All of us were gifted a certain amount of time. And it's weird because we don't know how much time we were gifted. And we kind of live our lives like that is an indefinite amount, and it's not. We worry about crazy things like the Wi-Fi not working, while at the same time knowing we are going to die. And we don't even worry about that. And I don't want you to. I'm not suggesting we should sit around and worry about the fact someday we will die. Instead, we need to go live those days. Live the days. Live slowly, but live urgently. Here we go with a list of all the ways the person in your mirror can do amazing good for other people, regardless of whether they think they look as good as they wish they did. For example, the person in your mirror can save lives by counseling and checking up on depressed friends, by working with suicide hotlines, volunteering at animal rescues, becoming an organ donor or a blood donor. All of those things are legitimate, necessary, viable ways to save lives. We love superhero comics and movies, but those superheroes don't actually save a soul, but you can. And that is amazing, which means the person in your mirror can also be amazing. Now stay tuned for the next video I've hand-chosen for you. It tells a great story about a man that lived through circumstances that no one has ever had to live through since. And it raises a question, something we all have to deal with in order to live a happy and positive life. Until then, keep smiling.